People who caught other people naked or having sex through windows or in public. What happened? I was like 12, walking on the beach at sunrise with my family. We see a balcony overlooking the beach and I notice a couple people there, moving vigorously. I thought they were waving, so I waved back. Realized what they were doing like halfway through the wave as my entire extended, and very religious, family turns to stare at this woman in an open front robe getting absolutely hammered by this guy as they both stare at the sunrise. I was mortified, to put it mildly. My dad made some wisecrack trying to break the tension. It made the silence worse and made it last longer. Worked on a highway widening job that had a park off to the side of it. The park was a known gathering spot for homeless people that usually slept in their cars. They never really bothered us, so usually ignored them. That is until one day I see two of them just going to town in the park woods right off the side of the highway. Girl is bent over, dude standing behind just going all out. Literally did not care about the traffic going by or anyone else who may be watching. Promptly drank some unsea juice and went about my day. My wife and I had a date night and it ended with us in our car eating some Taco Bell before calling it a night and being parents again. Our neighbors were going at it with their blinds open, so we watched for a bit and commented on their routine. They saw us. It made for a funny conversation with them later. Was walking down street, heard a scream, looked up and saw a couple fucking up against an open window in their apartment. Pretty sure it was intentional and they were getting off on people watching them because I made clear eye contact with both and they just kept on going. One that I can answer. I used to work as a DJ for a local radio station in a university town, mainly catering to the local student population. One of the shows that I hosted early in my career was on a Friday night, mostly playing requests to callers before they went out for a night on the tiles. One evening after wrapping up my show, I left the studio and headed out into the normally deserted car park only to find a car parked next to mine. This wasn't too unusual as people would occasionally work late in the center, but what was odd was that the windows on this VW Golf were steamed up and the car was rhythmically rocking backwards and forwards. When I placed my LP bag on the passenger seat of my car, I got a bird's eye view of some young dude grilling this girl in the back seat. Needless to say, it made a perfect story to regale my audience with the next evening. I would love to be able to tell you, dear people of Reddit, that one of the couple phoned in to confess to their late night cardio session, but that never happened. Didn't happen to me, but my 7-month pregnant wife and I saw the aftermath. One of our dogs was barking one night around like 3 a.m. She wasn't sleeping well cause hot and pregnant. She went downstairs to see what was up with the dog, came back 1 minute later, hitting me to wake up. I asked her what is up. She says two people are going to town on our recycling can and she wanted me to go down there and run them off. So I get up half asleep to go see for myself. As I come down the steps I see a guy walking down my driveway with lady 10 paces behind him. A car stops and picks him up, and she starts walking down the street. They must have saw her and decided to dip. To this day, she does not find this story funny, but I do and tell it all the time. I was working at McDonald's. Dude rolled up, ordered like 40 nuggets and offered me a swig of Bacardi while his girl was just going to town with Roadhead. I declined and took his card because I was like 18 at the time and it was too awkward to call the cops. I don't remember how old I was, but I was certainly prepubescent. We were at the beach on holiday one year that had these sand dunes running along the back. I found them fascinating and spent most of my time amongst them, until I got hungry and went back to find my parents. Stumbled upon a woman hidden in the grass sunbathing completely naked. I will never forget the sight of that brown bush on the top of the sand dune. Was a tourist in Jamaica. Went for a walk down by the beach late at night. There was a little spot of trees by the water. Seen two black figures moving around. Didn't know what I was looking at, so I walked closer. Next thing I know, there's 4 eyes looking at me and one set of teeth smiling. Woman pops off the pogo and puts on clothes. I can still hear the man's deep laugh. What happens in Jamaica stays in Jamaica. I saw my sister's boyfriend's balls slapping against my sister's ass. I literally felt this powerful force of disgust and horror fire me backwards, with my hand still on the doorknob, slamming it shut. I then clawed at my face as if my eyes had been burned from the sockets, and groaned as if the misery of hell itself was channeling up through my throat. I went downstairs and didn't talk to either of them for a while. Even to this day I can still picture that ballsack. Excuse me, I need to call my therapist, or Christ. Whoever picks up first. Lived in a condo downtown, and in the alleyway on day and lunch I noticed a couple going at it. I went and got a beer, came back out, stood there waiting for them to notice me. When they did, they ran away and I screamed, "Come back, I'm almost finished." We started cheering for the man. The man proceeded to cheer back. I was at tech school on Shepherd AFB. After getting food from the chow hall, I saw my friends gathered around a window laughing. There was a dude on his bed beating the shit out of his dick while watching porn. It was totally funny until a girl saw him. I wish I remember what happened to him afterwards. But the military takes sexual harassment very seriously, so I don't think he's still in. If you're gonna beat your dick, close the blinds. Walking in NYC and noticed a naked woman at the window on the second floor. Windows were nearly floor to ceiling, so you could see everything. She was changing. Then another woman showed up. She got naked and changed. Repeat over and over. It was some kind of photo shoot or fashion show, and they just happened to change in front of the window between outfits. I sat on the curb with a friend and we watched for over an hour. Worked in an office opposite a boutique hotel. Porn used to get filmed. Whole office could see everything. They made no attempt to block the window. The funniest was people pretending to be disgusted, and they would keep watching, or they would wander off saying how bad it was but then come walking back and have another look, all while pretending how disgusting it was. Thanks for listening. Subscribe for more daily videos.